lows, it's kind of tilted. The foundation is strong because Jehovah built it. You can feel the spirit and positive energy. Questions asked comfortably like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
Introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
We about to bubble. We back, y'all. We back.
No.
I'm sorry. I just feel a bubble in my spirit. It's been a long time since I heard that show intro. You know, I gotta make a request. DJ Cash. It's been a good 3 weeks. Good night, Rhonda. Can we rewind that intro back so I can get that in my shanana?
We definitely can. You know, y'all who joining us, this is the reason why. It's our show. We can do it.
We can do what we want.
Here we go.
Conversations with halos is kind of tilted. The foundation is strong because Jehovah built it. You can feel the spirit and positive energy. Questions asked comfortably like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
Introduce to you.
Yes, it sounded so nice. I had to request that it be played twice. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. You're tuned into Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, my very, very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads, LLC. And we've got a barn burner of a show planned for you all tonight. And for those of you who are going to be catching the broadcast on the replay, we want to say welcome, 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 and thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy what we have going on here at the platform, go ahead and tell somebody about the joy tsunami that we've got going on. I want to go ahead and give you a quick rundown about what's going to happen on tonight's show. Of course, we are going to get into our weekly superfan shout out. Of course, we're going to check in on one another. You know, that's how we always do. And of course, we've got an amazing guest scheduled for tonight's conversation. We'll share a little bit of a musical break and get into it. We're going to be a little bit petty as we discuss what's really going on. And of course, we need to do better after we have certain conversations. We are going to receive another soul-nourishing word of encouragement, but from our very own in-house certified master life coach, Coach Cash, Karen Sims Harrell, who sits at the helm of Twisted Threads, LLC. And of course, I'm going to encourage y'all to just be. All right. So let me rewind it back to the top of the show, give y'all a little choir director move, take it back to the top. I got to go ahead and ask my good girlfriend, Karen, how you doing, girl? Doesn't this 3 weeks feel like 3 months?
You know, it was a good break because we got to tell the people, right? We were not really on break. We were in professional development mode, right? So it was a little bit of a break. It did seem a little long, but that was because I really do truly believe, Tilted, that it was because we filled that space in with some master classes, right? We out here getting better. And so now we get to share more with the people. We were out in the streets, actually attending local events, right? And some of the people didn't even know we was on break. So They didn't know because our show, right? We have the ability to run it up because we got so many bangers that we get to do it. What one time, partner, replay one time, that part there. So I'm happy that we are back. Rhonda's already said it in the chat. It is family night. We'll talk a little bit about what that means in a minute or so. But now I got to turn the tables. You know, your 3 months. How you doing?
My 3 months in 3 weeks. How am I doing, sis? I don't even know. I'm so grateful that at the end of this whirlwind of time that I've been away, I can still remember my name. You know, you and I were sharing in a conversation recently that, you know, I don't know what day it is unless we got the broadcast in place. So life has been a beautiful blur for me. I'm in, my soul is in celebration because so many great things have been going on while we've stepped away. I mean, real talk, we've been out here on hiatus, similar to Tyler Perry's show. They just go on hiatus and they don't give you no announcement. You just look up and next thing you know, you got to wait 6 weeks. But thankfully, we didn't make y'all wait 6 weeks. It was only 3. You know, we often share that a balance in everything in life is very, very important. And like you said, Karen, we weren't just out here just napping, which is one of our favorite ministries. We were out here actually attending master classes. We were out here networking in these here streets. And Karen, I must say, my life is forever changed from the moment in time we were able to sit in the room and listen to Dr. Yusef Salam pour. Many of you may or may not know who he is, but I will give you a brief reminder. He is one of the exonerated 5. Don't want to refer to him as the other name. I'll shorten it, the CP5, because this brother has absolutely been set free, and he's been flying around here in these streets, freeing so many other people with his testimony of freedom and overcoming. And he's been recently elected and appointed to the New York City Council.
Yes,
girl, it's only going up from here. It's all dubs, no L's this season. You heard? So I want to go ahead and get into this week's super fan shout out because I see we got a shadow on the porch. The sun is yeah, and I don't want to get berated for not practicing our home.
We got doorbells.
We got doorbells. So before we answer that door, can I get a drum roll, please?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, this week's super fan shout out. I know you see these cute little earrings I got on, right? Because they gotta coordinate. You know, I gotta wear my special mushroom I go ahead and issue this week's super fan shout out. I have to coordinate because this week's honoree is my Chicana Taina sister from another Mr. None other than our sister tribe mate, the beautiful queen, Miss Marisol Cologne. Can we go ahead and clap it up for Marisol?
Yes, we can.
I'm trying to get it in the circle where y'all can see, but
yes,
I am actually wearing a piece of Marisol's merchandise on this evening because she is doing amazing things with her brand, Girl Talk Nails. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with her story, but I'll give you a short version of it. You know, during the pandemicals, like the rest of us, she went and took some courses and she learned how to do some nails. And now she has managed to brand that thing. And she has been featured in magazines. And not only has she been featured in magazines for her work within the nail beauty culture, she will now be a contributing editor, writing her own feature column, The Cuticle Chronicles. Now, yes.
Clap it up for that. You know, I'm
gotta clap it up for Marisol. Because
I
I
love
don't know
it.
if you noticed, I had shared a photograph of me and my little clippers and my nail oil.
I have
I
seen
am not only someone that's bigging my sister up here on the platform, I am actually a client and an active user of her natural, handmade cuticle oil. And I promise you,
love it.
it is like a private spa for your nails every single time. So, Marisol, I just want to go ahead and take this time to issue you a bushel of your flowers while you can still smell them, sis. We've been celebrating with you well before today. We've been celebrating you since what, October? Not even
Yeah.
then. Before October, we were celebrating what we knew was on the horizon for you.
Yeah.
And we crossed over into 2025 when the country is in chaos. Listen, Marisol, God has his hand all over you. And I am absolutely blessed that we
Beautiful.
all get to have a front row seat to the new thing he's doing in your life. I thank God for you. I thank God for your prayers. I thank God for your joyful spirit and your laughter, sis. Uh, Congratulations and just blessings upon blessings and upon blessings of many, many more to you for years and years
Oh,
to come. Shout out to you,
well,
Marisol.
Tilted, I only got one thing, right? Because not everybody has direct access to Marisol, right? But we are one of a few. I think I'm gonna say a few.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling some type of way tonight.
What's happening? What's happening?
Cause I would get my cuticle oil and my t-shirt when I travel up, right, for such said upcoming events.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But I'm fiending a little bit right now, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
you
Yes,
you
ma'am.
being a trigger to me tonight, reminding me that I got about 10 more days till I can get my
Yeah,
nail
you got about 10 more days. Since about 10 down. Countdown. Get the countdown. Get the
This is the
countdown going.
countdown. I was like, I think I could pay for it. She was like, but sis, you gonna be here. And I'm like, yeah, but I want it now. And we going back and forth. And she was like, I think you're gonna be, I got yours. Don't worry. So to those of you who are purchasing or interested in purchasing, go ahead, and whether you are on Instagram, whether you're on IG, Facebook, whatever name we calling it by, look up Girl Talk Nails. I think she's on TikTok as well, so that you can get your product. But just know one thing, you can't have mine. That's all I needed to say on that. So I want y'all to go sell her out, but don't you dare take mine, because when I come, she already know. So I know she got me, and I know she's gonna take care of me. But yeah, I'm going
So
through
check
it.
it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right,
Yes,
all right, all right. Because we could stay here forever talking about our
we
beautiful
could.
sorbet. But listen,
Good.
listen, listen. I'm excited about tonight's guest to be able to finally host a conversation with the person that turned Everybody Needs a Karen into a Coach Cash. Yes, that's right, y'all. I'm talking about my brother in love, brother Alfred Harrell. So check it out. What made y'all think that my wonderfully well-spoken sister would not manage to find her own twin flame in the person that she chose to commit her life to? Listen, I'm talking about my brother, and he is a bad mamma jamma in his own right. And, God touched him with his finger of love and allowed him to see my beautiful sister and let him know that he absolutely needed a Karen. So I just want to go ahead and share a little bit about my brother with you before we go ahead and bring him on in the studio. Alfred Harrell is the creator and host of the podcast Life is About More Than Living, which aired its first episode September 3rd, 2018. His podcast is on iTunes, Podbean, Alexa, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and a host of other podcast platforms. Alfred started writing poetry as a teenager as a coping mechanism to navigate traumatic issues within his childhood home. He is also a poet and the meetup group organizer of the Triad Poetry Meetup 2.0. He is the father of two sons, the grandfather of a grandson, and a granddaughter, and of course, a big old blessing to Mimi's 11. Let's go ahead and bring him on into the studio. Alfred. Welcome to Unhinged Live. How you doing tonight, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You guys just required a lot of extra work of me, but hey, she lives with me every day, so she knows the deal. She knows how I am. She knows how I am. Some things, but I'm good. Because you guys are also testing out StreamYard for the first time. I might like it. Don't know yet. Thanks for the intro. You're also privileged to bring me live for the first time in over a year. So last time I was live, I think I was speaking to someone in Sydney, Australia. So here we are, and video because that person couldn't see me. So thank you again. All the stuff you read, I appreciate it. Some things have changed. There's another podcast whose timing could not have been better with a certain movie that's out now by two powerful black men.
Mm-hmm.
Perch, The Other Side of Split. The book does not end as a book; it ends as a podcast, which I've been getting paid for 3 years and didn't know it. So that's money's always good. So Perch, The Other Side of Split is actually doing well on the Apple podcast area.
So, Mr. Harrell, I wanna
let her go ahead and take over and do what she want to do.
I do, because I want to introduce you a little bit. I want to allow you to introduce yourself. I know you're working from two screens back there, but it looked like you're not looking at us. You might be looking.
Excuse me, I'm looking at other screens. I'm looking at Chop.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
I got you.
If you could share a little bit about your background for who is Mr. Alfred Harrell to our audience, and then please do share how that's influenced not just the book, the podcasts for Life is About More Than Living and Perch as well. So who you is?
Who I am? That's funny question. I love that question. I'm just a guy, as I told people in the beginning, I am just a guy who chose to start living out his dream about 20 years ago. Ordinary guy. Some people say, well, you're not ordinary. Yes, I am. I'm an ordinary guy who rode the roller coaster ride out of 20 some years of doing this. From Google blogger, WordPress blogger, meetup group organizer, to podcaster, YouTube streamer, all of that. And when I say I'm just a guy, I'm not putting myself down. I'm actually rising myself up, because a poet friend of mine gave a quote to me years ago about people who fall in love. And I'm applying that quote to myself. He said, often it is said you fall in love, but falling implies injury. He turned around to me, the same poet and pastor friend of mine said to me, we rise in love. So I've been rising in this journey. I've been rising and loving what I do. Writing, speaking, podcasting, creating this book, which I'm going to share some snippets from with you guys, Split Souls of Transition. Everything else, Nikita pretty much covered because my publisher made it available on the back of the book, which is kind of funny. Yeah, grandkids and all that. Grandkids plus a lot of other grandkids because of Karen. I find myself easy talking about her all the time, more so than I do me.
Well, that's
when I get up here, but it's time to talk about her in line with this book, because without her, the foreword of the book would not have been written. And again, I didn't even think about inviting to see if he was even available to come up here and follow this tonight. This pastor, poet friend of mine from many, many years ago. I haven't seen him probably about 15 years, but his quote stays with me: to rise. We should encourage us to rise in whatever we do. Fall down, rise again. Argue with yourself, argue with your friends, argue with your wife, argue with your coworkers. But that argument leads to you rising and them rising. Then there's peace beyond the conflict. So I'm saying all that to say this is who I am. I'm not the easiest guy to get along with, but I feel the need to continue to rise. And to share with your audience tonight, on this platform because I've been dodging it, honestly, y'all. Saying like, wow, you married her, you should be at the first. No, I've been dodging this for the right time. And this is the right time. National Poetry Month is about to be over. Connected with some amazing podcasters today. Life is pretty good. And when life is good, I am at my best. This is who I am. You may say, well, you gave a lot of adjectives describing what you do. What I do makes up who I am because when you love what you do, it defines how you move. I'm now loving what I do. So I'm moving differently. Go ahead, ladies. Y'all want to talk, ask questions deeper? I'll go there.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and get it started with the question. A question that's specifically about your work. So I've noticed that your work, it delves into themes of identity, survival, and transformation. What message do you hope to convey to your audience through these narratives?
Through the narratives, I hope to convey that any one of us can live out my story in your own way. Some people say that we are not a community. We're not really connected because though we're connecting ourselves through social media, we're not connected. I believe we all are connected. Nature's connected. God is connecting all of us through nature, the process, through our journeys. The things I dive into, each and every one of us could probably find a family member that's crossed that path at some point. If there's elders in your family, you can talk to those elders and they will tell you perhaps stories if they're transparent. Like I learned my story from some of my elders. So that's where I wish to convey that we all are connected, number one, and we should not be afraid to dive into the darkness to discover the light. As a firefighter, that's one of the first things we learn, that you can always find darkness and light in darkness if you look hard enough. And sometimes that's the only way you can survive.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Now, I want to go on and ask you a question beyond your creative endeavors. Now, beyond your creative endeavors, you ventured into entrepreneurship. How do you integrate your artistic vision with your business initiatives?
That's an even easier question because my entrepreneurship and my creativity are one and one. We tend to disconnect them. One of the greatest emperors Rome ever had, Marcus Aurelius, he was a creator. He was an emperor. He was a ruler. He was a believer, as it's called nowadays. And by researching him, reading about him, and quoting him often, and learning his story, I've learned how to integrate all of that myself, only in a modern sense. No, I will never be a ruler over Rome, but I can be a ruler over my own destiny with a little faith attached to it.
I appreciate that. You know, I'm going to jump in here because I definitely appreciate, Alfred, what you shared. And I know a lot of things as we walk together. Can you talk to our audience about how you navigate challenges that may have come up during your journey, whether on the creator side or the entrepreneurship side? How do you handle navigating when challenges pop up?
Well, first of all, in all transparency, and I'm usually very transparent. That's where my podcast, Life is More Than Living, usually it's off the cuff. I navigate those challenges sometimes by often pointing the finger of blame, but yet, as the old saying goes, you got four fingers and a thumb pointing back at you. And so usually I do the human nature thing. Who's at fault? Who did this to me? Why did this happen? Why are you doing this to me? Why is this happening to me? Until I come to realization, I still got four fingers and a thumb pointing back at me. So to navigate those challenges, whether it's a few moments or days when I'm sulking in it or whatever, I realize I have to come back out of it by accepting that. Good evening, person joining us now. Not my job to do that, but I'm so used to hosting. I'm the host guy. I have to eventually come to terms that it's me. And I have to find perhaps new strategies and attach them to the old things I already know. Because one thing, we all are a composite of what we've been through and how we live. I don't think we should I don't disregard my past experiences. It's how can I attach a new methodology to that experience in the business and the creativity. Just like I said about the Perch podcast, long neglected. I log on Spotify, double checking Life is More Than Living. Perch pops up. I logs into the account. It's been monetized. I didn't know that. So now I gotta actually write a story because Perch is not a poem; it's an ongoing story. So now I have to be careful as how I navigate it in line with some of my spiritual perspectives and still tell the story. And find time, and this is part of the entrepreneurship and creativity going together. Working a regular job, it was difficult. Now, thanks to Karen Ann Sims Harrell, I'm able to not punch that clock, but punch my own clock with her assistance and navigate, join those two together. So my day really starts about 6 a.m. down here on the laptop working, typing, creating. Actually, I did some work prior to the show, thanks to having a few moments. And then when I'm out and about, the entrepreneur part of connecting with people, getting clients, selling books kicks in. And that's how I navigate the two. But I eat, live, sleep, and breathe, as someone once said about baseball. When I was a kid, and tried out baseball, believe it or not, all things. He says you have to eat, sleep, live, and breathe it to be good at it. I eat, sleep, and live and breathe what I do. Everybody's not up to that challenge. Mm-hmm. People like putting things in compartments. Like, I got my faith over here, my job over here, I get this over here. But your dream is at the bottom of the list. When if you take this as Maslow's pyramid and put it at the top of the list, everything else kind of works together with some sacrifice. So that's how I navigate it. Long explanation to a short question. But those who know me know I'm long-winded. So, hey, it is what it is. That's what I do 30 minutes. It's already 30 minutes. We haven't got into it yet.
Listen, we just getting started and we're going to keep it going till the wheels fall off. So we appreciate
That's how y'all do, but I ain't sure my wheels never falling off. But
you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
I don't know. I got your partner over there, and she's all. I know how she can probably pull teeth out of me. So anyway,
I'm just sitting here with my cute shirt on and my matching earrings. I don't even understand.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh! But listen, so far you have been dropping some gems, Alfred. And those of you who are in the listening audience tonight, I hope you follow the instruction that we tend to give you week after week. Get your passports ready, which simply means get your pen and your pad together, which I thought we was thinking. You might need to be writing down some of these things, because all I know is to this point in the conversation, Alfred, I have been encouraged and inspired, in particular, by the number of literary greats you've been quoting. Now, as a writer and someone who dabbles in poetry myself, I have a strong appreciation for that, because I too tend to get my inspiration from the writers who've gone and penned some things before us. So can I ask you when that actually became a thing for you?
I haven't even dove into y'all. Mind you asking? Go ahead. I'm finished. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, when did that actually become a thing for you? Can you pinpoint at what juncture you were in your life, in your adolescence? Was it in elementary school? Was it when you were a teen? When you really embraced the literary greats?
It's funny because I'm actually wearing the wrong shirt tonight. I'm wearing Spider-Man tonight, and the shirt I should be wearing is Batman. But today was like a Spider-Man day, and truly things are all over the place. And this gets to your question, and things that were not put in the book that I saved just for occasions like this. The actual age of embrace writing started about around the age of 12 or 13, which is mentioned in the book. Middle school, there was a poem, I Am, in some writing class, and that's how my memory has it. And I wrote a poem, I Am, and it's been missing for years. So I've created other versions of it. So middle school, approximately when I started writing. However, the literary process started with a push around kid toy, like these little kids had ride-on toys. It's the only ride-on toy I can remember ever having. Black Batmobile with a red horn on it. It would beep, beep. There's so much of my childhood I do not remember. Selective memory, talked about in the book some. I'm going to go into some details about it later. Different types of people encounter different types of trauma, and people say, well, you can't remember. That's the worst thing anyone can tell to someone unless you've been there. There's certain types of trauma that rewrites our memories, and there's good stuff that comes through it, and this is a good one. So I remember getting that Batmobile. Then as I got old enough to read, I started getting the Batman comics. Seeing here I am, a black kid, not knowing I'm a black kid, or in those days, a colored kid, as we would call. People think we're disconnected from our history. No, we're not. I'm 62. It wasn't that long ago we were colored. We just recently became black. And I got these comic books, and I'm like, that kid been injured, traumatized. I didn't know it was traumatized, but here's a rich kid, a little boy left alone, who grows up to deal with what he's dealing with by avenging others and doing good for people. Becomes the Batman. And the difference is he's rich in the comic books. I'm not yet. Not yet. Keyword is not yet.
All right now.
So those of you who may think that you don't deserve the wealth, don't buy into this is the other side of the Batman speaking, or the Alfred speaking, that character speaking. I don't know who you are and what you've been told. I know what I was told. I was raised with a spiritual poverty mindset, old school church, modern day denominations, poverty mindset. No one ever shared the scriptures about prosperity and God blessing you abundantly and you receiving your due. I was given Matthew 6:33, which said basically, seek first the kingdom and all other things, neglecting what David talked about, the riches, the glory, the prosperity. Not saying I'm saluting prosperity preachers, but there's a balance should be there. So my literary thing connected to that, when I started seeing, writing, Bible talks about good stuff, learning for myself the good stuff, as I call it, and writing that out in poetry form. I use my hands and gestures. I talk a lot with gestures. So you asked the question, age about 13, started writing, realizing in that poem about I am who I was, not knowing who I'll become. In that Batman narrative, not seeing that strife and poverty and hurt is attached to wealth and blessings, other things, as in the Batman narrative. I'm not saying I'm comparing myself completely to that, but that was a pivotal point for me discovering reading, then writing, then reading and writing, then reading and writing gave me a voice to do what we're doing now. Because some people that our voice die on the page. That's a personal choice, y'all. I don't know what some of you have. I challenge anyone listening tonight, watching tonight, do not let your voice die on the paper. If it dies on the paper, it will get lost with millions and millions and billions of other people who wrote on paper. We're in a day and time when you can let your voice be heard, be spoken on any platform. And that's when my change came, by watching TV and the newscasters and the writers and the wrestlers that it presented. Do not let my voice die on paper. Practicing something I never knew would put me on your show tonight. So you asked me how I took the full spectrum. So maybe we can go into some different things.
It's all good. I absolutely love the answer that you gave to the question, because you were able to relate a lot to Batman and the flip side, his story. And I fell in love with the writings of Judy Blume. Not one character in particular, but all of those little girls who helped me navigate elementary school and then going on through adolescence. There really is power in the words that, people take time to pen to paper. So it can reach broad audience like us, people who have gone through different traumatic situations in life. I completely understand when you express, Alfred, that, some things are selective because certain levels of trauma can cause you to tuck some things away. So you can keep moving. That's the best way to put it in my expression.
If you're not moving, you die.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I guess, I know it's safe to say that you are a brother who chose not to just sit still and die with whatever impact the trauma had on your life. You chose to keep moving forward. And look at you, Mr. Batman, sitting here with us tonight having a conversation on Unhinged Live. Thank you for that answer. I really felt that, brother. Snap, snap, snap.
Yeah. So now, Mr. Harrell, I want to give the people a little sample, right? So you talked about the foreword that I wrote and all the writing that you were able to write. If you all haven't gotten a copy, you could go ahead over to the platforms, the link tree. See, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and make him fall in love with my sister. But to have the opportunity to maybe share one of the selections from Split.
I got a couple, 2 or 3 for you. Don't worry. They line up.
Okay. Well, we gonna see. With the.
I ain't got no snacks. Why you ain't tell me I should have brought some? I got water though. I can sip my water while I enjoy the poetic flow.
We're gonna do something, but I want you to let us know something. Go ahead and share, if you wouldn't mind now. A selection, a piece.
I'm gonna dive.
And while you're getting that, just
I'm there.
Okay, well then go ahead.
Stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah, I'm there because there was something I really wanted to share. And I'm probably going to record it eventually again and put it back on YouTube. And everything I write is based off of real life. Okay, people, even the perch side, though it's fictionalized in some ways, the people in that podcast really lived. That's why I named them. I didn't change names in that part. But as far as Split goes, only names I left there are ones that I know I could safely use. But in this particular poem, in a time when I was living in Greensboro, and what we call body shaming now is gaining steam. I was at an event where another poet read something. Her words inspired this poem around body shaming. This poem I love to share, especially with largely female audiences. This poem is a tribute to all girls and women who failed, keyword FAIL, to see their true beauty. It's entitled Invisible Girl. She danced with her silhouette in the shadows of her past. She squeezed her tiny waist with her anorexic, frail fingers. She forced barely digested tiny morsels from her stomach's cavern. Starved for the beauty she possessed as a little girl, she dove like a deep-sea diver into translucent waters of personal disgust. She slowly became invisible, so she once again could be beautiful. I have nothing much to say to that. So many young girls and women I've encountered on my journey look for a man or someone else to validate their beauty, and they go through every sort of diet and routine to find their beauty, and they really become invisible when they should be seeing themselves in the mirror every day as beautiful and not diving in a deep well of disgust. Nobody has a right to tell who this person, that person, who's truly beautiful. Fat, skinny, small. Body shaming, it doesn't do any woman any good. And some men also, but this poem was dedicated to those ladies, those young girls who do not see their true beauty.
All right now. I love it.
I love it. I'm here for it all day.
and totally opposite,
Listen,
totally opposite end of the spectrum. And be interested to see what the listeners have to say about this one. I'm gonna let it speak. I'm gonna let it speak for itself. Cancel culture.
okay.
Tell us why you love my blackness, but want to cancel my culture. Continue rewriting American history as if American history isn't black history. Tell me why you love my blackness and choose to date or marry my children. Stand silent, viewing chalk lines drawn around their police murdered bodies. Tell me why you love my blackness while gentrifying my neighborhoods. Your selective memory blinds you to the fact that without blackness, we wouldn't have stars.
Look, I'm with you, brother. I'm right here in the book.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm here. That's page 32, y'all. That's page 32.
Get your copy. Get your copy. I love it.
Get your copy.
No, but I always try to end that stuff when I do some readings with a happier stuff. And she knows where I'm going with this. She knows when I say those words, happier stuff, because the book has happier stuff in it. It's not just trauma
really
and
does.
darkness. It's happier stuff. And so
is he really gonna do it? Is he really about to do it? Let me find out.
I'm gonna do one I haven't done. Entitled Brown Skin Girl.
Yes, I was there already.
She knows.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know me, don't she knows me. He nicknamed
That's right.
He nicknamed her Brown Skin Girl because of her milk chocolate skin hue and the ways her words melted away painful memories in his mental vortex faster than the milk chocolate of M&M candy pieces melts in your mouth, our mouths. Yeah. I throw one more out there because I got to push the darkness away. I try to put some happy stuff, and then I'm gonna leave the book alone so you can do Q&A or whatever you want to do.
Trying to get something tonight. I say what I say.
Hey, that's her husband. I'm only calling him out.
We have a love-hate thing, but anyway, we do what we do. If you get a chance to go to those who choose to check out Life is About More Than Living, the podcast, go all the way back. There's a powerful love story there that kind of inspired the next poem about a gentleman who met his wife. He came on my show. He told his story. He met his wife. She was already in stage 4 cancer. He fell in love with her. He tells her story in a way I cannot do in a few seconds in that interview. And he talked in the podcast about how even in stage 4 cancer, she continued to do ballroom dancing. And they continued to go out and date. He knew she was going to die. But she lived her life to the fullest to the very end. She saw the light in the darkness. And he loved her so much, he wrote a whole book about her in that state. He came on me becoming on my podcast, had me crying towards the end. You can look for it way down in the early episodes, like way down, like probably the first 30 episodes. Check that story out. That story is really part of the inspiration behind that next poem I'm going to share. And this is the area I don't always do. I don't always love as she wants me to love. I don't mind saying it. He didn't know how this woman wanted him to love. He learned how to love her in her language until the day she died. And when she died, he carried on her legacy by becoming a fitness instructor. So now he trains other people how to live healthy lives. Because if she could live healthy dying, he could live healthy living, was basically what he did in that podcast episode. Now, all that long introduction about some other thing I've already done, back to the last mushy poem for Karen. Because hers was not months. It was like 30 seconds. She already found it. whether you nice to me tonight or not, it doesn't matter. I got to read this stuff because in doing what I do, you ask me about entrepreneurship and creators, I intentionally try to not leave anyone in a dark space. That's a space you can go to after the show is over. But you have something to pull you out of it if you want to need something. But anyway, 30 seconds. I don't even know how I'm going to read this. I've never practiced this one. I just wrote it.
I can read it for you.
Okay. You want to read it for me?
It would be an honor.
Thank you.
You
appreciate it, sister-in-law. Thank you.
We family over here. We about to slide.
Sister-in-law, go ahead, sister-in-law. Read it for me.
Okay, check it out. 30 seconds. 1/2 of a minute meaningful. Excuse me. Let me start over again because it's a little dark in here, and I'm not afraid to tell you that I can't see. Rewind that back. All right. 30 seconds. 1/2 of a minute meaningful moments, requesting God's engagement in our ongoing love story. Our love story created, yes, crafted daily by the tide and water of life, living, thriving like rose to bushes planted in rich soil. Our Black love, drenched in the rain, water of 30 seconds of prayer. 30 seconds, 1/2 a minute, meaningful moment, requesting God's engagement in our ongoing love story.
Yeah, she always requires that I give her 30 seconds of prayer. So like that's our minimum. So anyway.
Yeah. Because
that's how he know we about to like literally that we don't, when you trying to figure out how to find the words, that has been one of the things that he knows. I'm like, I need 30 seconds. And, that might mean something different to different people, but he knows that means a connection in prayer. 30 seconds. It ain't been 30 seconds yet, but that's what I asked for. 30 seconds.
That's 30 seconds. So you know what? Check it out. So check it out, Alfred. I got this here book of poetry in my hand, right? And and thank you for allowing me to read that one, even though I'm in half in the darkness because the sun is setting. I don't even know how to set the lighting in my room right now with this New Jersey sunshine. But I want to ask you if I can read another one of the pieces you wrote here in the book.
You can do whatever you want to, sister-in-law. That just means less talking I gotta do.
Right. So, and this is part of me getting my lick back because somebody had tried to come for me over the course of the last week.
I'm gonna wear the right shirt next time I come up here though. The Batman shirt, because that sets the tempo. But anyway.
Listen, they tried to come for me and tell me that I don't listen to men. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not that I don't listen to men. It's just that I don't listen to just any man. I really do hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. And if you talking a whole lot of rah-rah nonsense, 99.5% of the time, sis is checking a do sis. I am not trying to hear you. But the flip side to that same 99.5% of the time, I'm looking to have conversation and be in the listening of men who have sense, who can pour, who can help me grow, listen, my mentors are men. And those of you who've been journeying with us here on the platform for any time, y'all know I love bringing the brothers in on the platform because I'm a woman. Again, I'm gonna remind you ladies, don't be out here running around talking about you don't need no man. That's one of the most foolish things I've ever heard spoken from between a woman lips. Don't be saying that, because you actually do need a black man, especially. You need a king to help you manage your queendom. So here's one of my favorite pieces, and this is again my look back poetically about my perspective that was written by you, my brother. We are black men. This is what is this, page 26 of the Biblications called Split. Yeah, we on page 26. We are Black men. And this is for every Black brother out there. I just want you to know I see you. We see you each and every day. We are Black. We are fathers. We are husbands. We are human potters. We are sons. We are not media stereotypes. We are not a lost generation. We are Black. We are Black men.
You're gonna make me cry. Don't.
Why would you say I would make you cry to read that particular piece?
Because that's the next project I've been neglecting, which is launching again a Black man
It's
platform.
coming into place.
But you make me cry. And
Well, I'm glad I was able to touch your emotions. You
Yeah,
have to know
'cause,
what was going to happen.
the first time I ever heard anything I've read in a female voice was when this came out as an audiobook. And that's the one thing we haven't talked about. When you go to the link tree, you will get Google Play and Apple Books, which is a lot more affordable than Amazon. But Google Play, Apple Books, and Barnes Noble link also give you the opportunity to get the audiobook if you're not a reader. And you can listen to the audiobook. And these poems, a lot of these poems that were written in my female voice, I'm not afraid to say I wrote in a female voice, you will hear them read by some of the world's best female narrators on the planet. Because my publisher was able to reach out to these people. They read the manuscript. They loved it enough to give their time to record the poems in a female voice. So that's the only time I felt emotional besides yours, Nikita. When I heard these ladies reading my work, I'm like, this is what it sounds like from a woman to another woman, not from a man writing and reading it.
Right. And that's it. You know, I really want to ask you another question.
Go ask the question, because I'm throw one more poem out there about us Black folk, because I think we need to pivot off of what you just decided to share.
You named the book
That'll be
Split.
the very last one.
Why did you name the project Split?
The book was originally entitled, see, I did a practice book called Little Boy Lost. So it was really entitled something like Little Boy Lost 2, something like that. But I named it Split. And it came to realization that all of us are split. All of us are split right down the middle. There's not a person born alive on this earth is not split. We are all split into who we are and who we want to be, or what we're doing and what we're not doing. We all have that one thing in common. We're the yin, the yang, the light, the dark. We're all a split. We are split in our faith. Sometimes we are a doubter and we need more faith. Sometimes we don't believe at all and someone needs to encourage us to have faith. Sometimes we're all split into capacity. And we are all, as the Hebrew word nephesh says, souls. The original word used in Genesis that people misquote as some spiritual essence is souls, living beings. So we're all souls in transition to who we want to be. Ancient Hebrew language, I'm not being overly biblical or super spiritual, but that language, that word I learned very young, my early adulthood, that we are all souls in transition. We all nephesh. We are all living beings. And so putting the two together was easy. Split, souls in transition. We are living beings in transition. Whom I am with my wife, I forgot to show you of your family, who the next person is in the live with that person. I see the word the gladiator in the movie, in that Gladiator 2 actually showed how split that man was. Mm-hmm. You split right down the core. But when you are split and you can search out your identity, then you become powerful. But being split and not going to your identity, you never discover your true power. You can be split and broken, split and healing, or split and powerful and doing both at the same time. Because you are soul in transition. The man you see now who started out writing as a blogger is not the same man back then because I was doing it for an I instead of for a we. So I talk a lot more now. So my split brings me to people. and my wife talks a lot more than I do, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
No, sir.
Because I want to get this last poem in and thought I'd be here 30 minutes, but my sister-in-law got me inspired to stay up here a little bit longer. So God, you never know the people come in your life, what they do to you. And she read my poems. I wouldn't know a Nikita without a Karen, I guess. So at least not this Nikita. I've known some Nikitas, but not this one. Put your hand up. You deserve it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I am the award-winning Nikita Hansford. Also,
say it again.
Halo.
But anyway, I'm gonna throw this out there and I'm gonna jump off this thing because I don't want to be here for an hour and a half. I really don't. And though I'm enjoying it, I don't want to be here for an hour and a half. I'm reach out to you for the podcast again and get some work done. Okay. And this is another side of Split with this poem. I'm glad I included it. And they kept it in when I submitted it to my publisher. That's another story for another podcast, though. Okay. But I don't mind coming back talking about the publisher side of it. Broken Black Storytellers. Broken Black. I know you'll find it in the book because it's what you've been doing all evening, so I'm going to leave it alone. And from what I can tell, a lot of the people that are in your group, they are storytellers in different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
We're at home with this poem. We are human healers, hope creators when all hope seems gone. We are humankind's poets, preachers, politicians, singers, songwriters, musicians, and dancers. We are time's melody. It's the rhythm of life, sang in psalms, written in proverbs, spoken in whispers and thunder. We are Christians, Jews, Muslims. We are the builders of our world's religions. We were once united in voice to God until Nimrod started building a tower to reach God's heaven. We are Adam's seed, created from Eden's black soil. Christ's seed, created from God's promise to Abraham. We are humankind's healers, hope creators, where all hope seems gone. We are humankind's poets, preachers, politicians, singers, songwriters, musicians, and dancers. We are time's melodies. It's the rhythm of life, sang in psalms, written in proverbs, spoken in whispers and thunder. We are Moses' voice still speaking from the Pentateuch. We are Jesus Christ beatitude proclaimers. We are Frederick Douglass. A smile or a tear has no nationality. Joy and sorrow speak alike to all nations, and they, above all the confusion of tongues, proclaim the brotherhood of man. We are Langston's Black Nativity. We are Maya Angelou's Caged Bird. We are Bloody Sunday in Selma. We are Black voices of salvation singing on America's holy day. Segregated Sunday.
I keep getting caught up.
Listen, that was good. I tell you, listen.
I like that.
Now, look, the book has had a workout clearly because it is almost split. I have to bend it back together.
Yeah, mine too. So don't feel bad. But anyway.
So listen, y'all already know. I can't tell y'all something that I'm not doing, or at least I try not that's what would make me a hypocrite. And as my best friend Karen let me know, and I'm so happy I've successfully shown that I'm far from a hypocrite. So if you can and will, please, ma'am, please, sir, go ahead and purchase your copy of Split. And I'm gonna go ahead and
let me squeeze one with sister-in-law.
Yeah,
sister-in-law now officially. Those who get the audiobook.
You know what? I'll deal with you later, Alfred. But go ahead.
Anyway, for those who get the audiobook, you will lose out on something. You will lose out on the mental health resources in the appendix of the book. Paperback has mental health resources for Black people.
I started to mention one of the
Anyway, I'm gonna
things.
get out of this thing when she's talking. Go ahead.
Well, before you leave, we often share, because in the back of the book there are mental health resources for those, because as you're delving into poetry, as Mr. Harrell has mentioned, it is sometimes a challenge when you're reading things. And I promise you, we had a book signing. I think that was last week. Last week.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
And one of the attendees burst out into tears from the reading of one of the poems, because what she had mentioned was, it is so powerful to hear somebody's story that may not have the ability to tell their own. And so a lot of times in poetry, it takes us to places, but we got to be reminded, right, that there are resources for us. And he's often letting them know, oh, my wife's a life coach, so if y'all start sniffling, go ahead over there to her. She'll get you right. I can't help with that. But in his own way, he shares resources to help us kind of not just normalize, but to elevate our growth mindset in knowing, right? We can be faced with difficult things, but also making sure that we are covering ourselves with support, covering ourselves with the resources that are out there to ensure that we've got good quality mental health resources at our fingertips. And a lot of these areas are well-known places, right? But because our communities, both Black and Brown, don't always push forward with trying to help us elevate and move forward when it comes to that. Listen, you let me know. I'll bring it with me. That's all. We could exchange. How about that? I get my t-shirt and my cuticle oil. You get an autograph. Listen, I'm bartering right now. What we doing? I love it. And I cannot wait. One of the things, Alfred, and he and I, we call each other by our last names. I'm Mrs., he's Mr., right? So we speak to it. And that whole he ain't rich yet, I tell him all the time, I'm the rich man's wife. So I don't know what you say here. I'm the rich man's wife. But one of the things that I was so excited about this conversation, Alfred, is one, that you get to be introduced to our tribe, right? So you hear me up here making noise every week, or just about every week, and may not be sure, but these people who are in the comment streets, these are our tribe family. These are the folks who them and their husbands put up with all of us. And so it is an amazing opportunity that we want to thank you for your yes. We want to thank you for coming in and sharing who you are. I need more of this. Meet me, never mind. All right, Rhonda.
So check it out. Before we check out of here and get to the musical break, I just want to let y'all know in on something. If you haven't noticed, before we went on break, we did have an amazing conversation with a couple different authors within our sphere of influence. And just want to go ahead and let y'all know that this is our feature.
I'm gonna dive. Let me dive into your question. Your Marisol put up there.
Hold on a second, Alfred. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you out real quick. Hold on. This is our feature book of the month. All right. As we are introducing a book of the month here at Unhinged Live. So I know you noticed that we've been tagging the link tree. And of course, you could always hit myself or Karen up, especially Karen, because she can bring the signed autograph copies up with her.
We can ship from the house too. Anyway.
And they can be shipped as well. So go ahead and purchase your copy if you've been impacted but in any way, shape, or form by anything that you heard read on the show tonight. I know that I'm going to continue to enjoy this because it is part of my book collection. So go ahead, Alfred. What were you getting ready to share with Marisol?
And it's one of the things that I'm gonna do two things actually. First of all, my publisher ended up being my oldest son, who had a bucket list to do a publishing house. He doesn't publish anymore, but in the book itself, and it's to Marisol's statement. I had to include Perch at the end, which is really dark and gritty and not for everybody. So it has a very dark ending. Like the podcast itself is kind of dark, sci-fi stuff. Because when he suggested to me, when we discussed him doing the book, and his experience with all authors all over the country, it was, Dad, write from your heart. Put it in there. Don't be someone else. That's part of who you are. Put it in the book. Everybody, it is. So I did. So her point about embrace her emotions being everywhere, my emotions were everywhere with the kingdom, including that part at the end. It's less than 3 or 4 pages. What's the other side of split? It talks about people who lived in my life when I was a kid growing up, and their impact in a fictional way that I didn't realize had attached themselves to my emotions. So allow your emotions to be everywhere while you're writing. Because if you choose to go with a professional publisher, proofreader, whomever you work with, I strongly suggest not just to self-publish, but find someone that can work with you through the process.
Appreciate
Get
that.
with someone who's going to allow you, who's going to work with you to bring your emotions in check. Right? Be emotional and be all everywhere. But also when that time comes and you see that manuscript and you see people asking questions about making changes in it, that's the time to get locked in. Don't get locked in until you're there with the manuscript. Be everywhere and nowhere at the same time is the quote I'm looking for. Be everywhere and nowhere at the same time in your writing. Be everywhere and nowhere in your writing. It's kind of like being married to your twin, but you're totally opposite, which I'm experiencing right now with that woman there. Because we're both creatives. I understand better why Nikita gets along with her. Because we were both Virgos, September babies.
2 days apart, like 2 days apart.
So she had her to practice on for me. I think she practiced with her for me.
That is a fact.
Because I'll leave that alone. But anyway, allow your emotions to be everywhere.
That was my boot camp, having a Virgo.
Allow yourself to be everywhere in your writing. Because what matters at the end is the finished product. Just embrace that craziness and do it.
Yep. Well, all right, Mr. Harrell.
I'm checking out.
We're going to bid you adieu because we got a music break to get into. So thank you all.
We got to transform.
Yeah, we got to transform because we got to get this one in. Listen.
Right. Bye.
I'll talk to you soon, brother. Later.
Love you.
Okay, bye.
So check it out. We got to get into this week's music break. I'm excited. Karen, I don't know if you realize, I don't know if you noticed I took a call just before we went live tonight.
You said you took a call before we went live?
Yeah, while the intro was playing, my phone was ringing, and I just had to answer the phone because of the person who was on the other line. The person who was on the other line, it's actually tonight's music break, girl. I can't hear you though because you on mute. I get it. So check it out. I want to go ahead and should I go ahead and do the intro since you on mute? Okay. Listen. I'm watching her hand signals as she's been in the choir with me, so she had learned to communicate with me with her hands similarly to how I tend to communicate with them and those of you all in the listening audience. I got a call from tonight's music feature, Brother Elijah Dequan. Brother Elijah Dequan, the CEO of the NEPA Fashion Week, two-time Star Trailblazer Award winning Elijah Dequan. I got to talk to y'all about our brother tonight because not only is he our music feature, we're preparing for NEPA Fashion Week. And while we're dealing with some things on the other end of the show in North Carolina, I got to go ahead and put up this here banner. We are gearing up for the spring, summer NEPA Fashion Week. Season 2 is upon us.
Yeah.
Yes. 2022 is upon us, and this is this year's most anticipated fashion event. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening, y'all. Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Friedman Jewish Community Center. That is in Kingston, PA. The information is there on the flyer. Tickets are still on sale, y'all, and we trying to have it sold out, packed house. You heard? I'm trying to tell you, there is going to be the who's who and the who knows what that can connect you to who in the fashion world, in the building there at Fashion Week. We are going to see the amazing designs of so many of our stylists and designers from both near and far. There's going to be awards. There is going to be music that's gonna want to make you dance all the way up and down the runway. And listen, I don't want to sit here on the show and tell y'all all about it. Go on over to the Eventbrite, type it in. All of the information will pop up, and you can purchase your ticket and be there or be square. I'm gonna let you out on a little secret. Unhinged Live is gonna be in the building, y'all.
Ow.
All right. And some of the Unhinged Live crew is gonna be prancing down them their runways. So check it out. We got to get into this week's music break. Are you ready for me, Coach Cash?
I'm ready. Listen, I got to. I had to. Sometimes, the husband can't know everything that I do, right? So I need to make sure he's secure in the areas while I turn this upside down. Right, he still hear me though, so I know what it is. But listen, we are super excited to celebrate Elijah Daquan. 2 weeks, right? We got 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we will be all
more like a week and a half, because tomorrow Wednesday.
That's true, a week and a half. So listen, that means 7 to 10 days, because that's what it is. 7 to 10 days. Do not get sold out, because that's what it's looking like. It's looking like you might get sold out. So even if you got to purchase your ticket and then worry about wardrobe, shoes, transportation, get the ticket first, okay? Don't get sold out of this event.
Don't get sold out.
Don't get sold out. That's all I can say. While I am fully transformed, right, into my DJ Cash, we're going to go into this, and share with you all Fashion Killer. Here we go.
Fashion Killer. Yeah, showed up, big vibe, showing up. New York, stand up, certified fashion killer, fashion killer. It's 7 p.m. Friday, my natural glorilla, feel bossed up when I wake up. No heartbreak, just to make up. I'm in my duffel, time to get this cake up. Like a type of foundation can't make us. Stay on your own path, it's a one-way. Only U-turns get made on the runway. No talking fly unless the plane's on runways. I got big dreams to chase and never run away. If you got big dreams, chase and never run away. Hey, back it up, back it up. Slide through, they start acting up. Walk, stop, pose, vogue. Get your heart out, snack it up. Get your money, stack it up. Stack it up. Slow motion versus no motion. You still not moving fast enough. Certified fashion killer. Fashion killer. It's 7 p.m. Friday, my natural glorilla. Feel bossed up when I wake up. No heartbreak, just to make up. I'm in my duffel, time to get this cake up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Tags get popped, they supposed to. Big bags when I shop, I could coach me. Moving silence, a boss, not boastful. Watch them raise up a glass when they toast you. Can you help me? I'm too drip right now to take a selfie. Catch the whole fit, my aura healthy. I'm not trying to get rich, let's be wealthy. Let's be wealthy. Back it up, back it up. Slide through, they start acting up. Walk, stop, pose, vogue. Eat your heart out, snack it up. Get your money, stack it up. Stack it up. Slow motion versus no motion. You still not moving fast enough. Certified fashion killer. Fashion killer. It's 7 p.m. Friday, my natural glorilla. Feel bossed up when I wake up. No heartbreak, just to make up. I'm in my duffel, time to get this cake up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Fashion killer. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. Like a type of foundation can't make up.
Yeah.
Listen. Rhonda is just telling our business, and this is where it was. We were jamming all weekend to Elijah's latest project, Metamorphosis, and
I'm
that
ready.
thing is so real.
I'm ready.
And let me tell you, get your knees together, y'all. Get your knees together.
I'm ready.
Get your knees together if you want to. If you need to take some Motrin, a little naproxen or something, get your knees together. Because I'm telling you, there are no skips on Metamorphosis, and we are excited to be connected with so many of our other our fellow Interstar nominees and winners. We're gonna see Barbie Cologne in the building.
All right.
We're gonna see Genesee Couture in the building. We're gonna see Brianna Afosu in the building.
All right,
and
man.
of course, we're gonna see our favorite DJ in the building. DJ Zim gonna be in the building, y'all. Listen, it's just gonna be like another fashionable Black family reunion. We're gonna have some of our Boricua, Dominicana, Cubana. Listen, we are going to be experiencing, models from every walk of life, shape, and size, disabilities, the whole nine. Because at the end of the day, you look good, you feel good. And some of us like to express ourselves through poetry. Many of us love expressing ourselves through fashion. So get to NEPA Fashion Week, y'all. So I'm looking at the time. Listen, we had a glorious time listening to the poetic stylings of your Mrs. Harrell.
Yes.
And I'm grateful that he was able to enjoy his time here with us. I'm low key sad that he left, because I just wanted to get his thoughts on the next part of conversation. I hope he's somewhere listening to the remainder of the show. But I got to ask you a question, Karen.
Yes, ma'am.
What's really going on?
Yeah.
What's really going on?
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 On and on and on and on and on.
On and on and on and on and on.
Oh.
I like how we ended it the same way. That's that frequency beyond, sis. We can listen. There is so much to talk about. And I know we've been living in a geopolitical storm over the last 3 weeks. I'm grateful again that I've been able to keep balance with the amount of media consumption outside of what it's necessary for me. I've been able to stay limited on that, so I don't become one of the others, as I like to refer to them as these days. I'm not one of the others when it comes to my political perspective. I've been keeping myself in a mindset of prayer, positivity, and encouragement to remind myself that it ain't nothing that God ain't already brought me through. So this is light work for him. But I noticed that I turned on the news and noticed that the Pope had passed away, girl. The Pope had passed away. He gone. He gone, Gina. He's gone. And now I'm sitting here like, again, as we started the segment, what's really going on? I don't know a whole lot about the selection process of a pope after one pope has been deceased while sitting in that position. I know recently there was a movie released called The Conclave that I tried to get into. I'm not even gonna front, the movie was mad long, y'all. And y'all know I'm the president of the NAP ministry over here at Unhinged Live, and I did fall asleep, so I wasn't able to complete the movie. But I'm very interested in the political structure at the Vatican behind the Catholic Church. I believe there is a selection process that they've got to go through. So I'm grateful that I'm able to, ask these questions out loud with you, my ever so faithful Get You Right coach.
You see me heavy breathing over here so I can get myself right, because I can't get you right unless I'm right first. So
because I have so many questions and I think it's the papacy is what it's called. I saw one little meme flying around, look to have about 9 folks on it that are up for consideration to basically be next on the Catholic throne. So
right. So, the papal conclave, right? So the papal conclave, you're supposed to be under 80. Usually most of them are already cardinals. So they already up there in the church. Then there's an election and selection process that goes along with that. But before we get to that, when I heard the news, I was like, oh, y'all tired too? Some of our folks, right? I consider Nikki Giovanni to be one of those folks. Like, I'm not wasting no more days on the food.
Right, she had died before.
I'm a head out, right?
I'm about to leave. We ain't finna deal with this.
That part. So that's where I'm putting this right now. So that's number one. It's like, nah, I done had enough. You know what, Lord? You come on, because many of us we pray against, Lord, don't call me home right now. I still got work to do on this earth, right? Because this is some of us, we've had that prayer, Lord, I'm not done yet. He was like, I'm done with this, and I'm
take me now, Savior,
take me now. So now to get to now that I have said my piece, rest in peace, Pope. The process itself is still very political, right? Because you got to be in the number. Only a certain number of cardinals are able to even vote for you. It turns into like a November election day all over again. Yes, there are even with the voting process, it is secret ballots, 2/3 majority, right? Majority. After each round of voting, we got the smoke signals to let you know that I made it to the next round of American Idol. All of that stuff is real simple, right? If we break it down in those terms, and then there's an announcement: we have a pope. We have a pope, and it's a I don't know what language it's in. It's not English though.
It's Latin.
Thank you. I'm like, another language. I don't know
which one. I got an A in Latin.
See, you go. Not me. Okay, there you go. But now we are in a space where and we've heard about the Sistine Chapel. That's where they meet. That's where the secluded vote is happening. All of that is going to be going down. I don't know if they have to wait like for any amount of time. Like, I think Pope Francis just passed away. I don't know, 2 days ago. What day is it? It's Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday morning I woke up. Wow, he just gave us the Easter speech though.
That part. I mean, he did his job, right?
He said what needed to be said, from what I understand.
Well done, good and faithful. That's what the Lord gonna say to him, because he did what he did. He stayed here till his work was done. And if that is not a testament of being here till your work is done, I don't know what else. He stayed till Easter, held on to give us a good word, and then gave up the ghost. That's how that went.
To send to to the right hand of the Father. Listen. So I'm praying. We a bit jovial over here, and I just want to go ahead and apologize to you all now for any of you who may be those who practice the Catholic faith. I know many people that I interact with, they left. They was baptized that way, but they ain't not trying to do things the Catholic way.
I grew up
so
that
I really
way.
Want to, I don't want to, offend you because we're laughing and we're joking, but it's coming from a sincere place of, hey, we understand what's really going on in the grander scheme of things. With this weighty loss at such a time as this, we got a whole lot of newness going on, not only here in our country, but globally. And who knew that the Pope was basically the most powerful dude in the world? Who I mean, some of us have known this for a while. in particular, those of us who've gotten into deep scripture study over the course of time, we understand the significance of what this means. So as we have been admonished to continue to pray for our leaders, both near and wide, you know, I'm going to encourage those of you who are tuning in to continue to pray the prayers of positivity. I know some of y'all and prayed, take him now, the orange dude in charge of this country. Don't do that. That's not cute. I know that you know, we're human and we're subjected to our own natural emotions and things like that. But it is up to us to make sure that we are crucified daily according to our faith. And I believe I absolutely posted it. What was it? Galatians or Ephesians 2:20. It's one of them is on my page. I can't quote it right now because I'm in somewhat of a flow, but you know, basically says that I've been crucified with Christ. That's in the A part. And to be crucified with Christ simply means to die to self every single day of your life. So yes, we want to yell. Yes, we want to scream. Yes, we want to kick. Yes, some people might want to have, you know, make the time to go out in these streets and protest, but check it out. There's a piece of a benediction that I've heard used in the many church houses that I've sat in over the years. What is it? Now unto him.
Oh yeah,
now unto him, right?
Yes.
Now unto him.
Unto him.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I don't want to get too churchy.
That part.
But those of you again who spent any time, you know where I'm going with that. Now unto him who is able to keep us.
Able to keep.
Now unto him who is able to keep us. All right. So pay these folks in this world system no, never mind, and remember that you, my child, are a kingdom citizen. So that means that you will continue to be above and not beneath. You will continue to be a lender and not a borrower. You will continue to live in good health, and you will continue to live in abundance according to your confession of faith.
You know, Tilted, I gotta offer one thing from what you said there, right?
What's up?
When we talk about praying for our leaders, many folks kind of got it twisted on the direction that our prayers should be taking. And this is gonna be my 2 cents real quick. If we were praying specifically after God's heart, right? We should be praying, Lord, bless our leaders too. Follow the example that you've given to us, right? That doesn't mean that we praying death on them. It does mean we are praying wisdom for them, that we're praying understanding, that we're praying empathy would kind of saturate their thoughts, saturate their decisions. And so for those who have opted to not pray or think that praying death is kingdom minded, I challenge you to just switch up the way that you're praying, right? We're following the rules by praying. We're following the rules that God has given to us by praying for our leaders, but to pray for their eyes to be open, to pray for their hearts to be humble, to pray for their decisions to be in alignment with what God has ordained for this globe, not just this country, because we could joke about it. We definitely, and I'm going to repeat it, mean no disrespect to the Catholic Church. This Pope did his entire job. And there is something so wonderful to be able to be said about that. Make sure we are showing up in places that somebody could say that about us as well, that we did our job. We did our job. So if you are conflicted with what to pray for, pray about that. Lord, I don't know what to pray for. Give me what to pray so I don't pray wrong, because I'm going to pray wrong. I'm going to pray something that I shouldn't repeat. But if we spend time meditating, right, and letting the Holy Spirit direct our prayers, you'll find that praying for your religious leaders, praying for your political leaders it's going to be way easier. And for many of us, we pray for the political leaders and forget the religious leaders.
Ooh.
Hand to hand.
Stop right there.
Hand to hand.
Stop right there. That is so good, because what's happening is in many church communities, listen, with people going through the loss of employment suddenly, a lot of people have become accustomed to reaching out to their local faith community for assistance. So you can only imagine the burdens that these local pastors bear when, you know, the math don't be math in the benevolence fund. And before any of y'all go there, every pastor in America is not dripped in Gucci and Prada. Every pastor in America does not own a private jet. Shout out to Reverend Dr. Pastor Philip Davis of the Greater Shiloh Church, who was a living inspiration to our entire faith community to continue to live boldly yet humbly in the presence of God our Father, and to be mindful of the image of Christ we project in our communities. So be mindful, y'all, of the words that you say, especially if you profess boldly to be a believer, because you got to remember, it's got to match up in the natural as it is in the spiritual. So check it out. Hey, Racia, how you doing, girl? I see you. Thank you for joining us. You all are tuned into Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, and I'm sitting alongside my very, very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC. The time is swiftly fleeting, and we have, oh, listen, this has been a great show, Karen. But you know what it is? You know I'm greedy and I stay hungry, girl. And I'm hungry in my spirit. So I am so ready to receive from you, Coach Cash of Twisted Threads LLC, tonight's reflection of purpose. So go ahead, Coach Cash. Take it away.
Listen, super excited that we're back and that we got something to offer. How about that? Because you could show up for dinner and none won't be there. But today, y'all know I always come with the title. We want to remind you, make your own lane, right? Make your own lane in this season, in this time. It is imperative that we stay focused on what our lane is. Sometimes that requires, I can't say sometimes, every time, that's going to require for some quiet time, some meditation, even some prayer and some good counsel. Don't forget the good counsel part, because when you're thinking about how can I make my own lane? Like you might hear me and say, okay, Coach Cass, that sounds real good. Make my own lane. Now, how do I do that? And right now, I'm going to tell you in a few short steps. Now, you got all of the people who you need beside you, right? You need those who can encourage you. You need a mentor, somebody who is going to be good counsel to you. You need to make sure you've got your notepad so you can write it down, your voice recorder so you can record it. However you do it, you need to chronicle what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What do you want the people to say about you when you're not in the room? What do you want the people to say about you after you're gone? Many of us still got long life to live, and while we're living it, we want to be reminded it's okay to see other people's footprints so we know the direction. Just be sure not to step into their footprints because they don't fit. We're not like them. That means that even if it was a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, somebody that paved the way that you could see the trees have already been knocked down and your way is clear. It is still your footprints, your fingerprints that will make your destiny sure, that will allow you to understand that legacy is not by accident. It is the culmination of every decision that you make, of every yes that you said, and every no that you put up. Sometimes you got to chuck up the deuces just to create the necessary parameters around your own life, around your own destiny. And as soon as you realize that putting a focus on you is a God God-given gift. It is not selfish. It is not taking away from anybody else. But here's what happens when you make your own lane. You declutter the highway of life. You declutter the things that cause distraction and cause us to not be disciplined in the areas that God has gifted us in. I didn't mean to go this deep. Listen, I give it to y'all as God gave it to me. I promise you. And today we want to be reminded, make your own lane. And if you need some help, listen, come on over here. Reach out to Coach Cass. Reach out to Coach Keita. We got it, and are legitimate life coaches and can help you direct the path that you need to have. And listen, if you need some mental health resources and you want to go, you better head on over to BB Mind Over Matter. Our coach Rhonda Booth, right? She knows it all together, and we are building over here, but we're not building just to say that we did something. We're building because we are kingdom-minded individuals who understand the importance of getting your mind right so that your life can reflect. Making your own lane gives you the freedom to move as God has directed for you to move with your tribe. We love y'all. As always, y'all know, make it amazing because you can. Tilted, that's the word. Make your own lane.
Ooh, make your own lane, because y'all already know what it is. Ain't no traffic over there when you're making your own lane. It's nobody but you. And the grit and glamour of your grace and faith in God. I'm trying to tell you, here we are. How many years later? As listen, I've been recently saying it. I am the multiple award-winning Nikita Hansford. That didn't happen until I made the bold move of jumping in my own lane and blazing a trail for myself. So thank you for the reminder, and thank you for the encouragement to those of you all who have never heard it spoken that way before. So I'm looking at the end at the time. It's the end of the show. Gonna get this here book, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Powerful information in the back of the book, resource information to help you work through some of the things you may have left a little bit covered, so that you don't walk around totally split at all times. So check it out. I got to encourage you all to just be. And as the spring and summer months are upon us, I got to just encourage y'all again to do one of my favorite things, just be outside. Now, just being outside is, of course, takes on many, many meanings. And for those of us who love the natural vitamin D we're able to take in from that beautiful star we refer to as the sun, yes, be outside, whether it be sitting on your porch, taking a walk to a local creek or lake, enjoying a picnic in the park with a loved one. It doesn't even have to cost you anything. Go sit on your porch, be outside, and get that natural healing from the sun. And not only do I need you to just be outside in nature, just be outside the box. To lend to what Coach Cash just recently shared, listen, you take that little box over to that road that you blazing for yourself, and start taking those things out that you've tucked away. That is your individual toolbox, the things that God has gifted you with to go ahead and build the dream, to build the brand, to design the t-shirt, to write the manuscript. Go ahead and just be outside, because the last time that I checked, when you go into the Guggenheim and to any high-priced museum, most of the most expensive pieces are the one that give the most creative expression. You yourself are the most creative expression. So be outside, not only in the sun, but as the truest version of yourself. Just be. It's your girl, hey, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford. Yo, I was kind of flowing right then, wasn't I, Karen? That was that thing.
That was good.
That was good. Hey, I got saved off my own word tonight. Listen here.
Offering coming up next.
Will there be one? Will there be one? It's your girl, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, and I'm sitting alongside co-pastor, Coach Cash, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC. And you already know it's all love here at Unhinged Live. And guess what? Next week, the tribe finna be back, ain't it?
Yes.
So you are absolutely gonna want to be in the building. Y'all gonna
don't
find
miss
out.
It.
You don't want to miss it. Oh,
Don't miss
don't
it.
want to miss it.
Don't miss
Don't want
it.
to miss it. No,
Don't
you
miss
don't
it.
miss it. You count the number, miss it. Oh, you don't want to miss it. Hey,
Miss it.
don't miss
Don't
it.
want to miss it.
Don't
Miss
wanna
it.
miss it.
Ooh. Ooh.
I can't stand you. You tell we was in the same choir. Just see how that helped. Listen, it's we are Unhinged Live, and clearly we are unhinged because we are alive. And that's the end of the show. Until next time, y'all. We'll see you next week. Peace.